Hello everybody, video here for you today. This is a no-cap recap of the February 8th, 2022, Season 9, Episode 14 of The Curse of Oak Island called Premiere of the Dig. If you missed my recap of Episode 13, there's a link to it in the upper right. Let's get into it. There's an island in the North Atlantic where people have been looking for an incredible treasure for more than 225 years. The episode begins in the money pit with caissons being unloaded. Marty reminds us that these are 10-foot cans instead of 8-foot, and there will be 50% more material brought up, searched, washed, and searched again. Rick reminds us of the water samples test, scientifically proving the existence of quote-unquote dump truck amounts of silver and gold in 4 different boreholes. The first of 4 locations for those 10-foot wide shafts will be D2 on the grid. The same location, the water tested positive for gold, and where these 2 metal objects that contain gold were found around the 90-foot level. Also found were numerous pieces of 1500s carbon-dated man-cut wood, indicating a shaft or tunnel. Billy Gerhardt meets with Rick and Marty in the war room, along with Craig Tester via video conference, to let them know that he has arranged a meeting with the recently elected Premier of Nova Scotia that is similar to a United States governor and is in charge of communities, culture, and heritage, archaeology, lands and forestry, basically all of the governmental departments that the operation on Oak Island deals with. The narrator reminds us of the indigenous Mi'kmaq pottery that Laird Niven found alongside the stone road that appears to head towards the money pit, and that prompted a governmental request to halt all activities in those particular areas of the swamp, which resulted in all archaeologists except Laird Niven leaving the island so as not to find anything else that would cause more of Oak Island to be off limits to the team. The Mi'kmaq artifacts do not appear to be related to the construction of the money pit or other structures on the island. As caissons continue to arrive in the money pit area, the last day this year for searching the swamp has arrived. Work must stop there to allow the natural spring below to fill the swamp with fresh water, which will be used for washing the spoils coming from the money pit. The team is prohibited from using seawater for that. Metal detection expert Gary Drayton finds this possible tool handle or part of a ship's wheel. And in the next excavator scoop, he finds this big stake. It being axe cut instead of sawed indicates it's older. Gary also finds more planking or decking of the same thickness as previous finds. A 2018 seismic survey revealed a 200-foot long ship-shaped anomaly. The Premier of Nova Scotia, Tim Houston, and his wife Carol arrive the next morning. They are first taken to the swamp and stone wharf/road. The significance of it having been 5 feet underwater and mud and located there instead of going through a much easier natural path close by is mentioned. Billy explains that it goes 580 feet and the beginning and end of it has not yet been found because of the governmental restrictions, which they discuss. Next up is the money pit area, and discussion continues with Premier Houston saying that the team has done everything correctly and that he recognizes the need to balance the cautions so that they don't exceed common sense. He goes on to say he sees both sides of it and says that he would be an advocate for finding a resolution. Gary Drayton and Marty's son Alex arrive on Lot 32, just west of the swamp, where previous finds have included ox shoes, a wharf spike, British coins, and buttons, as well as a lead bag seal believed to be at least 300 years old. The first find is an ox shoe nail. Gary mentions that Lot 32 is not farmland. They also find this musket ball that has been fired. The 58-ton oscillator arrives. The oscillator will force the steel shafts or caissons into the earth, and the hammer grab will be able to pick up 11,000 pounds of earth or other material per scoop. Those spoils will then be taken to the wash plant, where they will be cleaned and sorted by size, then searched. While the teams from Rock and Irvin set up for the first caisson, there is a meeting in the war room. Dr. Krista Brousseau has analyzed the lead bag seal found on lot 32 just west of the swamp. The markings on it are highlighted in this image. The initials are perhaps T and E for Treasury of England. There is also a stylized number 4 in the middle. Narrator Robert Clotworthy reminds that William Phipps from England found the wreck of the Spanish galleon Concepcion and took a huge amount of treasure back to his home country, but the second trip to the wreck yielded very little returns to England. The theory is that Phipps hid a large quantity of treasure on Oak Island. The bag seal is pure lead and speculated to date back to no later than 1730, which would fit in the Phipps timeline. Back in the Money Pit area, they named the first can the Fellowship 1, and each member signs it. Rick Lagina starts the oscillator, and the digging begins. Next time, on an all-new episode of The Curse of Oak Island called Eyes and Boot in the Ground, the hammer grab gets to work. This large beam is shown, with someone saying that it could be part of a tunnel. An unidentified, presumable expert says that an unidentified item is French lead and confirms that applies to the Templar cross as well. Marty's son scanned for and find possible evidence of the stone road as it leads away from the swamp. And Gary gets a good signal from caisson spoils. Marty Lagina says that's beautiful, and that's the end of the preview. The synopsis for that episode reads: The team is stunned when new scientific evidence supports the theory that the Knights Templar were involved in the Oak Island mystery, and the Big Dig uncovers some surprising relics. After the new episode of The Curse of Oak Island is a new episode of the companion show Drilling Down, called The Ultimate Timeline, with the following synopsis. Maddie and the team look at how their biggest discoveries match up with the historical timeline of North America. I'll be back next week to recap those new episodes, and a link to them will be in the upper right in the video once I upload them. I am Coach Steve Money. I am a certified Ramsey Solutions financial coach. You can schedule a free financial coaching consultation assessment with me at calendly.com/Coach Steve Money. That link is also in the video description. Email about coaching or anything on my YouTube channel, including Oak Island. You can get me at CoachSteveMoney@gmail.com. Channel donations can go to paypal.me/Coach Steve Money. Add me on the gram at Coach Steve Money. No spaces. And of course the YouTube channel is youtube.com/Coach Steve Money. Thank you so much for your support. Thanks for watching.